Welcome, foolish mortals.
Time to be turning around. If only you could.
Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
There's no turning back now.
This is the greatest show!
It's coming on the run lights. With the runaways are running tonight. Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Now it's time for the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with your hosts, Michael Hurley and Gary Aruda.
This is the greatest show.
That's right. This is the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast, episode number 559, recorded from the D. Fauntleroy Studios in Kent County, Rhode Island, and sunny Southwest Florida. I'm your host, Gary, joined, as always, by my co-host and my cousin, Mike, down in Florida. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What's new with you?
Not too much. Just in the swing of things here.
Yeah, when this episode comes out, you'll be at Disney at the Riviera, which you're wearing on your shirt right now.
Yes, sir.
Christmas
Got the hat
Day.
on too.
Oh, the hat too.
Yep.
Now, when you show up there wearing that hat and shirt, how difficult is it for you to then buy the next hat and shirt from there that you want?
Not difficult at
Not
all.
difficult at all. Okay, fair enough.
Nope, not at all.
That's fair. Do you like spending money on the shirts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't wear them. Like, I want them, but then I'm like, I'm not going to wear this. Because, like, the Saratoga ones...
You should be wearing something similar when we're recording, for crying out loud. Like, put your uniform on. What is that?
Disney shirt, Ratatouille.
Yeah, it's not the same. We're resort guys. We're not.
The problem is, like, I love Saratoga. Their merchandise is not great. Their shirts, I don't like. It's got like a little pocket. It's got this huge thing on the back. I don't like shirts that have a lot of stuff on the back.
I understand. Yeah.
It's not my favorite. I just want a simple one. Like I just want like the horse or whatever, something easy. And they usually don't have my size of something that I want either. They always have just mediums. I'm like, oh, that doesn't do me any good.
You ever notice you find that thing and it's $190? You're like, I don't care. This is perfect.
Yeah.
And then they don't have your size.
Mm-hmm.
Color's perfect. The sleeves are perfect. Like, everything about it's perfect. And you go, and you're really scrambling. You're like, oh my God.
You even ask and they're like, oh, look in the back. And you know there's nothing in the back.
Back there. Oh, it's so
They
frustrating.
don't even have a back. Like, where's the back?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anyway, this week we're going to talk about our top 5 things to do actually in the parks at Christmas time.
We're going in the parks. We're going inside the gates.
We're inside the gates this time, but that's okay because for us, that's outside of the norm. So inside the gates is outside of the gates for us because we hardly ever talk about the parks.
All right.
However, when we'll both have just been to the parks at Christmas, so we'll have some fresh things to think about when we get back to recording, getting ahead a little bit because we're both going to be on property, and we'll be spending some time in the parks. I know I am. I don't know you.
I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
So, what are your favorite things to do? Like, what's your number 5? What would you advise someone going to Disney World for the first time around the holidays? What do they have to do at the park?
It's so homer of me because I talk about this all the time whenever we're inside the parks. You have to go to the Carousel of Progress because that Christmas scene means so much more during the holidays, does it not?
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point. Carousel of
You
Progress.
have to go on the 4th of July too, and then you have to go, and it's just it's so good at Christmas because it's like you're there for the Christmas party, and you and I will be the only 2 bozos to go on the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, that's true.
But I love that last scene, and it's just so much more special during the holidays, I feel.
That would almost be a great way to, like, start your trip if you're there for Christmas, is go do that first
Mhm.
to kinda get in the spirit and be like, "Alright, we'll go through all the holidays," and you end on the granddaddy of them all, Christmas, and that scene where they open it it's all open, the whole thing, they don't have the sides cut off, and it's so cheesy because it's so outdated. They even updated it recently, it's
They
still so
updated it,
outdated.
it's still outdated, still, like,
I love
80s,
it.
it's so perfect, everything is perfect about that last scene.
Yeah, because it's what the '80s thought now would be, and it's not even
Right.
close.
It's not even close, like,
But it's
that game is
fantastic.
so bad, but
I
they have
love
the
it, though.
virtual glasses, oh, it's so perfect, and
It's
now
great.
think about it, how great would that be to go on, like, after you've already had, like, Christmas Eve dinner,
Ooh.
and you're getting ready to close it down, get back to your resort, put the kids to bed, Santa's coming the next morning, I mean,
Mhm.
that's a perfect scene.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm not even thinking, like, physically on Christmas, but that's great, yeah, for that.
Yeah, I'm thinking doing Christmas there. We're either getting our, grand villa, or we're gonna stay at one of the cabins.
Oh, the cabin. And I'm not thinking of the cabin at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, no, we're not talking that.
I'm talking the
No,
Copper
no,
Creek
no.
cabins.
Yes, sir.
That you need a new contract for that, for
How
sure.
good is that, dude? That's when you need 2 sleep around. That's when you like, it's your biggest contract. Like, your sleep around points is 300
Yeah.
because you need to get those cabins.
I bet those are hard to get at 7 months for Christmas.
Yeah, I bet too.
Even with the points, I bet it's very
That's why
difficult.
you'd have to get the Copper Creek.
Which is a good value according to that spreadsheet you sent out, that nerd math, right? That's like number 2?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pretty good,
good contract to
contract,
have.
yeah. Now, could you imagine, like, if we just got a couple families too? It's like we ended up getting 2 cabins and we're next to each other.
Ugh, that'd be cool. Go outside, share the grill, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Are we turning this into our Addicted to DVC podcast? Because this is starting to
No, I know, I
go
gotta
right.
say, we're getting off topic here.
We were inside the parks for about 11 seconds,
Yeah, now
and
we're
now
already
we're back to grilling at the cabins at Copper
Yeah,
Creek.
that's true. Alright, let me get to my number 5 then.
Okay.
This is my number 5 because it's at a park that you don't normally think of with Christmas, and I'm at Animal Kingdom,
Alright.
and you walk in near the Tree of Life, and they have the winter animals called the Merry Menagerie that come out, like these puppets. They have the polar bear, Arctic fox, penguins, and they're controlled by these puppeteers. They're just such a cool addition to the vibe. It fits in well, being Animal Kingdom, and it kind of could get you really in the Christmas spirit. I think that's a must do if you're going to Animal Kingdom at Christmas time because there's not a lot of stuff to do there
It really isn't.
specifically for Christmas.
No, there really isn't.
So you have to make that a priority if you're going to be there, and that's why it's my number 5. I still think it's a great park at Christmas.
Mhm.
The tree outside before you like scan in
Beautiful.
is one of the better ones.
It really is.
I really like that one. You can spend a lot of time. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's not in the park because you kind of want to speed through and get into the park instead
Yep.
of hanging out and checking out that tree. But besides that, it's a really cool tree. I know they do a special Christmas show on the Tree of Life, but the park's not even open when it's dark half the
Yeah,
time.
I've
So I don't
never seen
understand.
it. Yeah, you're right.
However, I am a little nervous. Did you notice they have been expanding the hours for the
No.
times that? Oh yeah, like Animal Kingdom's open till 7 p.m. Couple nights they put Epcot to 9:30. I think Magic Kingdom to 11. Like they're expanding all the park hours, so I think they're anticipating some pretty big crowds in this coming weekend
Okay.
or this past weekend as we listen. So that's my number 5. Anyway, Animal Kingdom, the Merry Menagerie. What do you have for your number 4?
My number 4, Kristen came up with this one actually, is to take the kids to see Santa because they have Santa Claus at different locations.
I think there's at least. I know there's one in Animal Kingdom.
There's
It's in
one at
Dinosaur
there's
Land.
one at Epcot.
There's you can meet Santa. I know they have Santa, but is there like a sit down
Yeah.
meet and greet?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know
Yep.
that.
And then on occasion they will have Santa on Main Street kind of over by the post office area.
Yeah, behind the Christmas shop, like as you're going. I know exactly what you're talking about. Santa does meet over there in Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
And then Hollywood Studios, I believe they have a meet and greet as well.
Yep. It's pretty much hit or miss. Like they don't have a specific time. Like I think the Magic Kingdom said it was like mid-afternoon. Like, certainly do it a lot during the Christmas parties, but
sure.
And like Susie always said, like the Disney Santa Clauses are so much better than the regular Santa Clauses.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that?
They get some good Santa helpers for sure.
They really do. And it's amazing how they bounce around from park to park. Don't you remember as a kid? Like I'd be going to like maybe your parents' house or something, like a week before Christmas, we'd be doing something, and I would see Santa like at a car wash on Post Road, and then 20 minutes later he was in Cranston.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I asked my parents, how the heck did he get to like over by Frank's house, like faster than like our car got over there? It's just
the car wash Santa's got a Marlboro light hanging out of his
He's
mouth.
got a light hanging out, like his beard just smells like beer, cheap beer.
Like the scene in Home Alone where he's getting into his beater car.
Yeah. He was especially right before Christmas. He was all over the place. It was amazing. Yeah. Yep. Amazing.
It is
how
crazy.
Fast Santa was able to travel.
He's really good at it. So that's a good one. So just in general, whichever park or
just in general, yeah,
you have,
yeah,
and that is because you can get your picture with Santa a lot of places, but you can't get your picture with Santa at Disney World that often.
Not at Disney World, not at Epcot Center. No sirree, Bob.
So my number 4 is going to probably make you think less of me because it's this low.
Oh no.
And it's the Candlelight Processional. So I know it's one of your favorite things, and I'm sure it's higher on your list. But for me, I was trying to order it, and I couldn't put it any higher because the other stuff I like more. I think you like it a lot more than I do. I like it, and you love it. Put it that way. But I mean, if it's your first time and you haven't done that before, it's a really moving experience. They have the local orchestra, the singers, they tell them the original Christmas story, the celebrity narrators. The only real negative to it is it's so popular and so crowded that you're almost forced to buy a dining package to see it or wait a long time to get a seat. And it gets very crowded, obviously. But outside of that, it's a fantastic experience. So if you're going to be in Epcot, I would definitely try to make it a point to see the Candlelight Processional.
Okay.
Number 4. What do you have next on your list?
My number 4
Number
3.
The
Epcot's, or my number 3, sorry, are the Epcot storytellers.
Okay.
It's one that I don't spend enough time seeking out.
Yes.
If you will, like if they're out in Germany, I'll stop and listen to them. But this time I'm definitely going to make sure to spend quality time seeking them out, getting a hot chocolate or a coffee. And
like you want to look at the Times Guide and see where they are and bop her up.
Yep.
I agree with that. I'm not going to talk too much because that may be on my list further up.
Okay.
I agree with you on that. I think they're fantastic. You talk about how Disney gets the best Santa Claus. Well, these performers
amazing
are unbelievable.
Yeah, we saw one in Italy and we were just blown away. Like I think Kristen had like tears coming down. They were so good.
They're telling the story over and over again all season long, but the passion they have, it's somebody's first time ever seeing that. And I think they really put that into their performances. They do such a good job. You watch some videos of it and you see they're interacting with people and they're telling the story. They're just great experiences, and it's educational. It helps you really feel like you're into it, like learning about other cultures, especially with kids, and getting the true meaning of how people celebrate. It's not religious. Like if you're not a religious person,
yeah, you're right.
You could get into it that way and see it. I don't know. It's just, it's perfect. It's a great experience. We'll talk about it more later on my list for sure.
Okay.
My number 3 is just walking into the Magic Kingdom. That first step when you go under the train station and get onto Main Street, USA. The tree and the garland hanging from Main Street and looking down at the castle. It's just, it's hard to beat. I have 2 things that are ahead of it, but it's hard to beat as an experience.
Is there anything better than the Main Street Christmas music?
No, it's so good. And then the Dapper Dans will be out there sometimes
Yeah.
performing. The train going by, the train station's all decorated. Even the outside before you even go in, it's great.
Yeah.
But once you get under the train station, you walk out onto Main Street and you just take it all in. It's like it just envelops you in that good feeling. And if you're going for like a Christmas party,
Yeah,
it's
it
night
totally
and
starts
everything's
right at
lit
the
up.
ticket booth.
Yeah. And you get the snow and everything, but it's fantastic. I mean, obviously, I think most people, if they're going to the parks at Christmas, are going to go to the Magic Kingdom at least once, and you have to experience it. There's no other way to get in. But take your time.
Yeah.
Hang out near that Christmas tree. Hang out on Main Street. Listen to the music. Try to wait for a performance of the Dapper Dans on Main Street so you can hear them sing Christmas songs and perform. Like, really spend the time over there in that area because it's the best of the best. It's really shows you how meticulous and how much effort they put into it at Disney, because you see that and everything that goes into it and how beautiful it is and how good of a job they do. It really makes you appreciate everything that they have going on over there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's nothing. You don't have to really seek it out, but take your time with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Main Street at Christmas. There's not much better, is there?
No,
Like
really
we both talk about how Hollywood Studios and that Echo Lake area is our one of our favorite areas, just to check out the Christmas lights and the Christmas music.
Yes,
But the Magic Kingdom at Christmas is just special.
it really is. What do you have for your number 2?
My number 2. Do you mind if I play a song to lead
No,
us
I would
into
love it. I
All
would
right,
love
I'm
it.
gonna play a little song to lead us into it.
Once upon Christmas time at Christmas, families gather round the Christmas tree. Once upon Christmas time at Christmas, moms and dads and children all agree. Music merry till for all, it's a time you will recall. The stories told throughout the years. So get ready for the night when Santa takes his flight. 'Cause Christmas time comes once a year.
Very nice.
It's that parade.
Yeah.
And I know it's a hard ticket parade, but it's by far my favorite parade.
It's great.
It's
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
We were watching it today, and like you just forget how many characters you don't see in the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Pedo, Pinocchio. I mean, you name it, they're all out. It's an amazing. Mickey and Minnie actually open it, where they're always
Right.
closing the parades. The music's amazing. Those skiers, like that parade is
Yeah. The
amazing.
toy soldiers, the
Yeah.
reindeer, and then Santa comes at the end on that huge float with the
Right.
sleigh. It's fantastic.
And he's as good of a Disney Santa as you'll ever see. Probably
course.
the best
Yes.
Disney Santa there. We did not have a good experience the last time, as Angry Newfield Jr. mentioned too. He's probably not going to go back because they oversell the party.
I wouldn't mind if they had that many people if it was half the price.
Right. For what they charge, you expect an
Exclusive
experience.
Yeah.
You know, for $180, I expect to be able to, if I don't want to watch the second parade, to be able to get on a ride in 10 minutes and
Mhm.
not have to wait 45 minutes. And
Yeah. So it's
but
tough.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I get why it's high on your list because it is fantastic. but it's hard to recommend the party.
I would recommend it for somebody who hasn't done it before because,
That's
in
fair.
all honesty, for $180, if I had never seen that parade, I'd probably pay 100 just to watch that parade and for the fireworks.
Fireworks are good too.
But as far as rewritability, it's just not there.
It's a one and done experience.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't have any party stuff on my list because I just I don't see the value in it, so I wouldn't want to recommend someone to do it necessarily, but I get what you're saying. If you've never done it, it is probably worth it for that one time.
Yeah.
Just to experience those unique things. However, I think if you go the week of Christmas, the parade is part of just the regular day. I think they have that parade the last week of the year every day.
Okay.
So if you happen to be there like the week of Christmas, then don't even bother because you get that parade. My number 2, you mentioned it a little bit, just kind of as a one-off, but I said hanging out at Echo Lake at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
The music, the
Mhm.
decorations, you feel like you're in the 40s or 50s, old Hollywood. I just love it. It's perfect. It's everything you want it to be.
Yep.
And that area of the park, there's no rides over there, so there's usually not a ton of people, so you can actually sit and relax. You can have a hot chocolate, you can have a snack, and just take in the ambiance of everything and just enjoy it. I mean, if you're going for Christmas, yeah, there's other things you can do that are more actively Christmassy, but being able to just appreciate and take in that whole vibe they have over there,
Yep.
it's tough to beat. It really is.
You're exactly right. It's
Well done.
Yeah, it is.
They have like the floating giant ornaments on the lake. The dinosaur, the Gertie, has the ornament from his mouth and has a Santa hat on and everything. Well, her mouth, I guess. Gertie's a girl's name. And then they have those giant, they look like lampposts almost, with like the plastic old Christmas. It looks like an old Christmas card that you would get, like with the Rudolph or Santa or a snowman on it. It's just, it's so well done. It reminds you of like a grandmother's house, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that park could be so much more, could it not?
Mm-hmm. But that's enough. Like, I don't love Hollywood Studios. There's not a lot there for me. It's not my favorite, but it's a must-do at Christmas for just that area. You do some rides when you're there if you want. Take in some of the other stuff, but you have to make sure you spend time Echo Lake, Hollywood Boulevard.
And like you said, it's dead over there because people are going from Fast Pass to Fast Pass.
Yes.
Still call it Fast Pass, but
there's no rides over there, so no one's gonna hang out.
Mhm.
There's not gonna be a huge crowd. People might hang out a little bit. There's not gonna be a huge crowd in those areas. Even down Sunset Boulevard, there's always people because they're heading to Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. But usually on the street, if you stop and just hang out and take in the ambiance, there's not a lot of people there either. And even going back towards the Chinese theater where Mickey and Minnie's is, like that whole middle T section of the park is usually pretty low key because there's no reason for people to congregate there. So people are moving through, but if you want to go off to the side and hang out, it's a good spot to do that. And they do a good job with the decorations over there. So that's my number 2.
So my number 1 is the Candlelight Processional.
I figured it might be.
It's the best. It's the best of the best of the best.
Yeah. You look forward to it all year.
Yeah, I've been going to it now every year pretty much. I've been 3 in a row. Saw Cal Ripken the first time I went, and I've been in love with it ever since. I love it.
Yeah.
And even if we can't get a seat for it, we'll just stand. We'll get a cup of hot chocolate outside the American Adventure and just stand inside that tape area in standing room only and watch it. I love it.
Yeah. Now, do you find it's not too difficult to do the standing room? Or
No, standing room's fine.
Yeah. Getting a seat's tough if you don't have the dining package.
Yeah, it can be tough.
I also don't think the dining package is a bad deal.
No, not at all.
Because it's
Not at
only
all.
about you're basically paying an extra maybe $20
Yeah, that's what it always seems to be, about $20, which
for
is
the seat.
whatever. And, I get a dessert, which I normally wouldn't get, but,
And you
yeah,
would easily pay if that was a hard-ticketed event, you would pay $20
I'll
without
pay
batting an
all
eye
day, yeah.
to get a guaranteed seat there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a dessert guy, so I'm not gonna spend $50 for carrot cake so that I can get, Illuminations front row.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good deal, and it's a great
It's
performance.
just so unique. It's so different, isn't it?
Mhm.
And I think you can't explain it to people. Like, it's one of those things that you really have to experience. People on the golf course have asked me, like, "What is it?" And you can't explain it. It's like you just have to sit there and take it in.
No, because if you tell someone they're just reading the story of the first Christmas and they have music that goes with it, they'll be like, "Alright, so it's like
Yeah,
going to church."
yeah. Okay,
But
whatever.
it's very different than that for sure.
Mhm.
No, it's great. Like, obviously, I had it lower on my list, but it was on my list for sure. I mean, I could have said just anything in Epcot, basically,
Yeah,
at Christmas.
Epcot's so good at Christmas.
And it's funny because the front of the park, Future World, isn't really, but
You
World
wouldn't even
Showcase
know
at
it's open.
Christmas
Yep.
is so good.
With the exception of Living with the Land. They do a great overlay
That's
there.
true. Yeah, that didn't make my list. That's not my number one. It didn't make your list, so that's a good honorable mention. But my number one, you mentioned it already, is the holiday storytellers at Epcot. Just there's so many. I mean, obviously, you probably can't catch them all in one day. I don't even know if they all perform every day. I think certain ones don't go 7 days a week. But you have to catch 2, 3, or 4 of them when you're there. If you're spending a day in Epcot at Christmas, make it a point. Like you say, go to France, Germany, United Kingdom, Italy. Get a taste, especially like if you have a heritage
Right.
from one of
Sure.
those countries.
Yeah.
Like if you're an Italian ancestry and you go here and you don't know that story with La Bufana, and she's telling you the story of how kids in Italy celebrate Christmas or how they used to and what the season's like. Like, that's a really cool experience for you and your family, especially if you have younger kids. They could see how other kids around the world spend this time of year. Because we all have our own traditions, but American traditions are very standard. Like, the Americans do a lot of the same stuff. And other countries are the same way, but it's very different than what we do, but they all do kind of the same things the way the traditions are. So I think it's really a unique way to enjoy it, and it's super entertaining, but it also puts a lot into perspective, and it's a really good learning opportunity for adults and kids alike. That's really why I like it.
Now, have your kids seen it? Have they been here for Christmas yet? No.
Well, we went last year, but we only did Magic
Oh, that's
Kingdom. We
right.
only did the
That's right.
party.
Yeah, we did the party because you didn't have APs and the weather was terrible. Right.
So they don't know, but they'll be going. And they keep asking. They say, "Oh, I hope we could do Christmas at Epcot someday." I'm like, well, we'll see, maybe. So it's going to be exciting to be able to experience that with them.
That wouldn't be bad to do your last day when we get there, because we're going to be at Epcot.
Yeah, we're doing Magic Kingdom.
Oh, that's right. All right.
We already have the Candlelight Processional booked and everything for the Saturday. But yeah, so that was my number one. I did have one honorable mention that I kind of feel fits in with the storytellers, but it's different, and it's the Voices of Liberty.
Oh yeah,
when they do their Christmas performance
Oh,
inside the American Adventure. That's fantastic. Like, you talk about, you said like Susie get like teared up watching the performers. If you go in there and listen to them perform and you don't get choked up a little bit, then you don't have a soul. It's very moving. So that one could have easily made I could have done all 5 for Epcot, honestly.
Oh, easily.
I was trying to spread it around a little bit, but There's so much good stuff. As cynical as we are oftentimes about the parks, especially, I don't know, just being there at Christmas, it kind of melts it all away. You just want
I
to have a good
agree.
time.
Yep.
Like, I know you could normally care less about going into the parks, but this time of year, you want to go in and
Yeah,
see
you
it all
really
and
do.
take it in. I know you still aren't going to spend 8-9 hours in there, but you are more excited to actually go to the parks than you normally are in February or May or something like that.
Yeah, I like it when it's slow, and if it's busy, then I just walk around and don't go on rides and see shows. So
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing and all I really want to do is just take in the atmosphere.
right.
I'd like to go on Living with the Land because it's got the overlay. I'd like to do a couple rides maybe at Magic Kingdom, but if it's super busy and the line's long, I don't really care.
Who cares? Right.
Like the Jingle Cruise is fun, but I've done it before. The kids don't really appreciate it that much. I'm not going to wait an hour and 40 minutes to go on the Jingle Cruise.
No need to.
I mean, I'll go on Carousel of Progress, like you said. I'll do the People Mover, things like that. But we'll see. We just want to walk around and enjoy it and take it in. That's what it's all about for this
Eat
one.
some decent food.
Eat some good food. Absolutely. Do you have any honorable mentions?
No, I was thinking the Dapper Dans like you.
That's a good one. I mean, Living with the Land would be a great honorable mention.
Have you done that?
No, not with the
Oh,
overlay.
you got to do it. It's good. It's really good. And if you can, do it at night. When
Okay.
the sun goes down. Do it at night when the sun goes down.
Oh, because everything lights up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
How about, I know you've done it because it's on our YouTube video, the Monsters Inc. holiday one. Is that good?
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, I mean, the Monsters Inc. Does nothing for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they have some good holiday overlay stuff.
Yeah, they do a great job.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else necessarily to add to this one outside of those few honorable mentions. I think that's
now. We did a tease on our other podcast, the Addicted to DVC podcast, where we are going to Christmas Day do some of our favorite songs from the Society Orchestra at the Grand Floridian. I was thinking for this podcast, can we do something similar with the Dapper Dans?
Oh, sure.
You on board for that?
I am. Are we able to easily track down those recordings?
Yeah, we can. I'll do all the work.
Okay. I know we have that actual album for the Grand Floridian side.
Yep.
I don't know about the Dapper Dans, but I'm on board with that. I love it.
Figure it out.
Idea.
If not, we'll just do a repeat. We'll just throw like episode 32 up there for Christmas.
Yeah. Good point.
Because we do need to, take some time off with the family for the holidays.
For the holidays, that's true.
I mean, taking time off is pre-recording. We just do not take weeks off, do we? We just grind.
I think we took 1 week off at the beginning of COVID.
Okay.
I think we skipped a week. I think that's the only week we skipped. Was like the first week when the parks closed. I think we just skipped a week.
Because we just were miserable and we had nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think you took a little hiatus and Schaefer filled in for a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things where both of us had time away from the show for personal reasons, but we kept it going. We were able to keep things going.
Yeah, during that, there was nothing to talk about during COVID. They shut her down, and we knew they were going to take things away. We were very disgruntled.
Yeah.
So instead of both of us being in talking misery, we took a lot of our unused PTO.
Yes, that's true.
During that time.
Yeah. Well, we were just lucky we didn't get furloughed, I guess we could say.
That would be terrible. Like if you furloughed me.
We got laid off from a free job.
And we're such pricks, we wouldn't tell each other. You just get that notice in the mail.
Yeah.
It's kind of thick. I think it has like health insurance crap in there too.
Yeah, Cobra information. Oh, damn.
You do not want to get that WDW BTG
Cobra
PO Box XYZ with that, that envelope with all the extra stamps.
It doesn't even have the good logo. It's like the official, like, legal logo. All right, let's wrap things up. That's going to do it. You know where you can find us. YouTube at WDWBTG, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at WDWBTG. WDWBTG.com is our website. You can go to our Facebook group, WDW, Beyond the Gates Podcast Family. You can email us, info at WDWBTG.com, Mike at WDWBTG.com, and Gary at WDWBTG.com. Anything else I need to mention here, Pards?
Negative.
All right, that's going to do it for episode number 559 of the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. For my co-host Mike, my name is Gary. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M-I-C.
See you real soon.
K-E-Y.
Why? Because we like you.
M